You A&R'd and helped shape Shaboozey's breakout hit, A Bar Song. How much of your insights for that particular piece was as a producer, and how much of it was as the executive?
Remember earlier how I was saying sometimes just priming the environment for the artist. I believe when you service the room, you are showing up to whatever is needed for the room to succeed. So in terms of, you know, not just Tipsy, and I think what's important is what happens before Tipsy. Boozy had an album that was essentially done, and I saw like this really brilliant person, splitting themselves in order to try to figure out how to navigate the music business. And I basically was like, bro, I I don't think this album is the album that you need to do. It's not. Like, what people don't know is like Shaboozey is an exceptional, like he could rap. Like he could really, really rap. So the album that he was like, yeah, this is the album, it was essentially like, to me, it was like a rap album. But he had a song on there, demo version. It was either song number 13 or 14 on this album, that was an incredible story. It's called Annabelle. And I'm like, bro, this is the album. Like, I don't care about none of this that you did. And it was good, but I saw so much of Kanye in Boozy, which is, he's a world builder. Like, he sees the world around it, the world around the song, the world around the picture, the world around the production, the world around the idea, what it means, right? And and he did the one thing that every record executive hopes for. He trusted that what I said to him was real, and he scrapped it. He was like, if you think that's what I need to do, I guess I'll try it. And so after that, he started writing, and he started just like being inspired, and it was just like, just me doubling down, like how amazing of a world builder he is, and how amazing really of, like, he's a brilliant songwriter. He's an extremely intelligent person. His ability to extract important moments in life experience, pop culture, art, perspective, and put it in a moment after it kind of, he filters it through, is like, yo, he's just, I mean, like, I tell people all the time, like, he's actually a lot more brilliant than the success that he's had so far, right? And so we were in the middle of trying to actually finish Annabelle, if I'm not mistaken, like on the phone with the producers, pushing them. Hey guys, like, yo, we need to get these guitars recut. Hey, Sean and Evan, who produced Tipsy. By the way, they're some of my like favorite producers. Like, I'm a producer's producer. They are like some of my favorite producers. Um, and so there, I was in LA there to kind of like push, like, yo, we need this album. Like, we need this record. The label's starting to get a little like, yo, where, like, what's up with this album? After I done told them the album's done, and the album wasn't done, but like, it was done, but it wasn't like, but like a bow on it. And I'll never forget, um, Abbas calls me. He's like, bro, I think we got it. And I'm basically like, I hope you're talking about the guitars that we need to finish on Annabelle. He was like, nah, we don't have that. And I'm like, bro, I don't even want to hear what we got because we need Annabelle done. And he's like, no, but you really need to hear this song. And I'm like, yeah, I really need Annabelle to be done. And so he sends it to me, and I knew it. Like, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, this is out of here.
Yeah.
But so in terms of the actual, like, and by the way, like, as a producer, this is the moment you want. But my contribution wasn't writing the song or producing the song. It was creating the environment and the subsequent, like, snowball effect of pushing and pushing and really supporting an artist whose appetite for excellence is like, it's like, one of the greats level. His appetite for excellence, I appreciate it because I remember being in the room with Kanye and them tweaking the drums until it's right.
Mm.
And that's the spirit of what everything Boozy does. Is like, yo, what can we do to make it better? So, but one of the things that, as a record producer, I've seen incredible things happen, and I've seen hit songs, and I've seen songs that could have been hits and they weren't. One of the things that I had gathered over time is there's a difference between a recorded hit and a performative hit. So it checked every box as a recorded hit. Like, incredible hook. It was just like, it's the perfect song. It's like, it's the perfect song, right? And I'll never forget, he had a showcase performance in January, and they performed the song. And by the second time the hook came, everybody was singing the song. And then they had to perform the song again. And that's when I knew the recorded hit, because it feels great in the studio, was a performative hit, which is everyone enjoys singing the song, not just listening to the song.
Mm.
So, to me, that was like, if I was like writing a manual, or not even a manual, just a documentary on like a process. It was incredibly talented artist comes in, um, signed for some time, but needed a thing. It's just like, yo, I didn't make him any more talented than he was already is. I just told him, like, yo, bro, why are we splitting ourselves? You're an incredible storyteller. Hey man, we don't need to be rapping. Not when you're writing songs and stories like this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just make music. Let's get what's in your heart out. Like, let's leave all the other things. Let's leave it outside. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he trusted it, because I think that's one thing that artists struggle to do. And maybe they struggle to do it because there's not a creative on the other side telling them. Because I can't imagine what the response might be for someone who wasn't a creative telling him these songs that he spent so much time. Is like, nah, I think we could do better. He'd probably look at him like he was crazy.
Yeah.
But trust to say, like, okay, I'll try.
Mm.
And then leaning in to his genius. And, me seeing that it's a performative hit, now I'm communicating that internally. and figuring out a way to activate everyone internally about not this hit song, but the artist is like one of those guys, because I've been around those guys. I've been in the rooms with, you know, the Jay-Z's and like the Kanye's, and like I've worked with the Rihannas, I've worked with the Lil Waynes, I've worked with the greatest artists, in my opinion, of the generation. And when I first met him, I was like, I know exactly who you are.
Mm.
You're in the sky. Like you're one of the stars in the sky.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And so engaging the commerce to say, hey, this is it. And I still to this day say, like, yo, Tipsy was the most reactive song on that album, the body of work, because I think it's so important to highlight that, yes, Tipsy broke so many records, right? But he has another top 10 record, I believe, with Drink Don't Need No Mix and Big X the Plug, that took me months to try to put together.
Hmm.
That's a top 10 record. You know, like, you know, East of the Massanutten is a record about his story, but it's not just his story, it's the journey of every creative who aspires to make something out of themselves. You know, like, you know, Tipsy is like, it's the commerce. It's like the thing that makes, hey everybody, y'all should come in and hang out with Shaboozey and
Yeah.
listen to how dope he is. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And so like, yeah, there, you know, as a record executive, as an A&R, I believe it's my job to service my artist to get him to a point where he has the momentum internally to write one of the biggest songs in the history of um in pop music history. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
like, and sometimes though it's like, yo, telling them like, hey man, I think we can tweak this, or telling the producers, hey guys, we need to push. Hey guys, because I'm a creative, I also am familiar with where they're at in their careers and being able to relate to them, because there's so many moving parts in helping an artist and their dreams come true. You also have to take account the people around him that are his support system, that are his producers, to be like, hey, like, yo, we've got to do X, Y, and Z. We've got to push here. Hey, maybe you should think of this. Hey guys, you guys are experiencing like, you know, producer fatigue, and like, hey man, we're almost there. Hey, yo, we got to keep pushing to land the plane. So
Hmm.
it's not just making sure, you know, the things that are important to him are being you know, received, but it's also making sure as much as I can that everything around him is seamless. And so that's why I believe that I'm in the ultimate creative services industry, because it's my job to service the room. If he
Yeah.
needs me to go get him food, I'm going to get him food. If the producer needs food, don't get up. I
Mm.
want you to sit at the keyboard or the guitar or the computer to stay as locked in and connected to the flow, so we might be able to get a little bit closer to delivering and helping the vision of the artist.
Mm.